Tyler Reddick won the Daytona 500. Zack and Alex are here to break down the final lap, the fuel saving, the handling, and everything else with the 68th running of the Daytona 500. And when I say Alex is here, as you can see, he's literally he's here.
Literally here. I am touching Zack.
He's in my house. Stop touching me. Girl, it's not that gay. It's a gay racing podcast. We got men touching each other in the first 10 seconds. Anyways,
girl. Tyler
Reddick wins the Daytona 500. We're here to break it all down. How are you feeling after the race? I know after last year's Daytona 500 episode, it was kind of like we're at a funeral.
We were grumpy last year.
We were really grumpy.
This year, I feel good. I'm not mad. I'm not exactly like ecstatic. Like I'm not like, oh my god, Daytona's back. I'm happy. I'm content. I think we had a decent Daytona 500.
Yes.
I think it's the best one of this decade. Would you agree with that?
Best one that we've had in a long time, honestly, especially with this next-gen car, this drafting package. And I think we had a really cool winner, Tyler Reddick. He's had this habit of winning these races in these very flashy styles. He can't just go win a race normally.
No.
That's not Tyler Reddick's thing, apparently. He's got to have these wild final lap moves. And he has another one. And really huge deal because, I mean, we were just talking about it on a prediction episode with Eric Eastep. He had a winless season last year.
Yep.
And we were saying he might not win this season. There's no guarantees. Of course, as I say that, I love saying that. They might not win this year. Oh, wins the Daytona 500.
Wins the Daytona 500.
I said that about Byron one of those years.
Yeah, you did.
If I say you're not going to win this season, you're going to win the Daytona 500, apparently. Reddick gets it done. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it wasn't someone Mickey Mouse. Like Tyler Reddick, he's won a super speedway before.
Yeah.
He's second in this race before. Go ahead.
Right after the finish, you were pretty, like, not mad, but you were kind of like grumpy.
Yeah.
You were kind of upset. You were calling it Mickey Mouse. How are you feeling? We're about an hour or so after the race.
Well, specifically with Tyler Reddick, like we'll get into some of the Mickey Mousery later, but like specifically with Reddick, like that does not feel Mickey Mouse to me because he's won the Daytona Duel before. I believe he finished second in the 500. I want to say it was last year. With all that crashing. So it's not like this is the first time he's been in this position. 2311 and Toyota in general keep finding themselves at the end of these races. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about, their little blockade that they had in stage 3 and just, like they've been winning at Talladega a lot. That's what, like, this is not a random surprise winner. That's why I do kind of feel good about this finish. Tyler Reddick really earned this Daytona 500 win. It's
his passes on Chase Elliott and Zane Smith in the final corners.
Yes.
He pulled those off perfectly.
Right.
It was very, very exciting. We'll get to it, but I'm really shocked that this race didn't end under yellow or we didn't have an overtime even. NASCAR did a really good job this whole weekend of not just throwing the yellow right away. But yeah, I am very content with how this race finished up.
Yeah, 100%. Patreon member Dirt says, isn't it nice not to think about Reddick getting to take the next 25 races off?
Isn't it nice that we're not talking about the playoffs?
Well, I feel like the whole vibe of the weekend or this race is just everything's in a different context.
Yeah.
Like when Byron was having when BJ McLeod had that weird incident on lap 4 or whatever, and Byron was involved, I was starting to think of the championship implications of it.
Yeah.
Like, having a bad points day is kind of a big deal now.
Yep.
Right? And so I was thinking of that, not even just with Tyler Reddick winning this race, and that is a huge deal with all these bonus points now. Like, I think Reddick is definitely, even though he's not locked in, I can kind of say he's a lock now because he has all these points from Daytona now. He's going to probably run good the rest of the regular season. But like all those stage points, like it's all going to like matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So that's just been comforting to me. Patreon member Avery kind of agreed. Very refreshing to celebrate a new Daytona 500 champion in Tyler Reddick and not hear a single word about them already being locked into the playoffs.
Very refreshing. It did make, at least maybe it's just our anti-playoff feelings, but it did feel like the Daytona 500 became a bigger race again.
Because it's all about the Daytona 500. It's not about all these, Mickey Mouse guys trying to get their way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think that will honestly help Talladega, too.
Yeah, Talladega would be fun.
Talladega's not a playoff ticket gimmick race anymore. It's Talladega. Like, it's back to the racing, back to the stars. And we certainly saw the stars on NASCAR.
And a bad day at Talladega could actually matter.
Right, and it will in the chase, too, once we get there in the chase. But not only Tyler Reddick, but this is like a huge win for 2311 Racing.
Yeah.
I feel
fresh
like
off the court case.
first race after that lawsuit got settled and they win. We were saying, joking, oh, what if Denny Hamlin wins the championship? But this is like the next biggest thing, right?
Next big thing.
Tyler Reddick, Michael Jordan holding the Harley J. Earl.
Jim France was there. He was shaking hands with Michael Jordan.
Right, and that's awesome.
I don't think he would have done that a year ago.
I mean, has he ever been to victory lane? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe he has, but
it's in his backyard, I guess, Daytona.
Yeah,
but
that's his baby.
Yeah, all three chartered 2311 cars in the top 10. Riley Herbst and Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace led the most laps in this race.
Yeah, and again, like Toyota 2311, they just have control at these super speedway races. Patreon Dirt from Patreon once again asks us, how do you think this win will propel 2311 forward this year? And I mean, I don't really know if it will, but
it gives them some positive momentum.
I mean, because we're points racing again.
I think it's nice for Reddick after going winless that
huge.
They won't have to worry about, oh my gosh, when are we going to win again?
He doesn't have a winless streak anymore.
Yeah,
that's not going to hang over his shoulder.
And it's not going to be like a mental block of like, oh my gosh, we need to win so we can get some momentum going. Mm-hmm. The playoff discussion, obviously, as we said, is not there anymore, but a win can still do a lot for momentum and just positive vibes on a team. So I definitely think that'll help, and I do think, specifically for Denny Hamlin as a team owner, this could help him really get into the season, I think, as well, just mentally.
I was thinking about
just
that too.
with how everything he had going on in the off season between the trial and his personal stuff going on. I think that would really help him as well.
I almost put that in the doc. I didn't, because Alex made me do the doc.
I was in the shower.
Comes to my house, makes me do all the work.
I do the doc every other week.
You mean I gotta treat my guests nicely? What do you mean? What is this?
We're on episode 241, and I've done it probably 240 times.
But anyways, I thought about putting that about Denny Hamlin in the doc. I feel like it's like, you know what? My race team's doing great. I can just kind of focus on being Denny Hamlin, the driver, right now.
Yeah.
My race team's doing fine, even though I had a horrible offseason. I think that is a good point to bring about Denny Hamlin, and we'll see how that kind of plays out in the coming weeks. And Denny had a really great performance today, honestly, like controlling the pack almost like it was a Gen 6 race.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to later, because Justin Allgaier decided he did not want that to be happening.
Let's talk about Allgaier.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, because I think we said everything we need to say about Reddick in 2311.
Yeah, congrats to Tyler Reddick in 2311.
Yeah.
2311 sent us that Pride shirt a year ago, and we've had J.R. Houston on the pod before.
There's a card hanging up in my wall, but you can't see it. So
friends of the show, if we can say that. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
That is a bit. I mean, 2311 though, they've never won the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
like
huge.
All the people on that team, this is the biggest win of their life.
Yeah.
Huge deal. Justin Allgaier though, the lights were a little bit too bright for Justin Allgaier, if I had to say so, because
So we were talking about this when Allgaier made that bad block. So Denny Hamlin was trying to make a lane. It was a risky move. I don't know if it was going to work out.
I don't know if it was high percentage from Denny Hamlin. It was a very tight hole.
That crash was ultimately on Justin Allgaier. It was at the end of stage 2. We were talking about it. Justin Allgaier causes a lot of incidents like this. He does make a lot of
in the O'Reilly series.
Sometimes in the O'Reilly series.
Like not working with teammates. I think he was even doing something weird like in yesterday's race.
And that's a whole other thing. Those O'Reilly cars.
I remember he calls I think he calls the wreck at one of the Atlanta O'Reilly races or something.
Yeah.
Justin, he's a little bit of he's such an experienced race car driver, and I feel like he's very smart. But no matter what, he's not that experienced with these cars. Mm-hmm. In all, we don't get that much practice. He only did like the race in the 40 car last year. I don't know if he's ever done another next gen super speedway race. If he's like filled in for somebody, maybe
he might have.
Yeah, sure, maybe.
Yeah.
Either way, he's so used to the rhythm of how the O'Reilly cars race and the runs they get. I could see how. I mean, things happen so fast. His brain just gets caught up in between gears almost, and he's like, "Oh, I'm blocking Hamlin. No, I'm not. I'm wrecking myself." I can see how that happens. Justin did take full responsibility on TV. Love that.
Yeah,
makes me feel better about it because my race cars didn't get wrecked, but
yeah,
a lot of race cars got wrecked because of that little mistake. And I don't know.
I haven't told you this. My mom texted me. She was watching the race, and she said that I was just sending you a picture to tell you I was rooting for Allgaier because Dale Jr. owns the car.
That's
but
cute.
then he crashed. Like Reddick was taking the picture.
See, I used to be like that. Like when Junior was still driving, I loved Junior Motorsports. And
Yeah.
I just haven't really cared about this effort in the Cup Series. I know why they do it.
Yeah.
It's because it's actually profitable, because if they get a good result in this race, they don't lose money.
Yeah. It's easy to get sponsorship for the Daytona 500 too.
Yeah.
Patreon member Blake asks us, where does the Justin Allgaier block rank in terms of blocks gone wrong that had to be among the worst, most indecisive and half-assed moves in recent memory?
Yeah, blocks. The Cup drivers in general, and that's another thing too. In the Cup car, blocking is not really that good because it's really just inviting people to wreck you. But in the O'Reilly car, blocking is everything.
Right.
I don't think that's why Allgaier made that move, because again, it was just a very tight hole. I think Allgaier expected Hamlin to like keep following him and pushing him. And I think that's valid. That's a valid argument to say Hamlin kind of like, it's not Hamlin's fault, but like,
Yeah.
a decision Hamlin made that wreck happen.
It put Allgaier in that.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just stage 2. Does Hamlin really need to do that right now? The hole was so tight. I
Well,
don't
the
know.
thing too is Allgaier's not going for points
Yes.
in the series, so I don't know.
A lot of good cars got wrecked. I think Larson got like basically he wasn't competitive after the damage he got in it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it was that wreck. There were a lot of wrecks.
And then, speak of mistakes, the rookies made some mistakes.
Right.
And very hyped up rookies, but they're still rookies.
They're still rookies. And again, like I said with Allgaier, who is he's a veteran of the sport in general, NASCAR, but most of his experience is in the O'Reilly car. Connor Zilisch has basically zero experience. He might have done Daytona summer race, but he does not have much experience in this next gen car drafting.
Yeah.
Corey Heim as well. And, Zilisch was weird. He just it's almost like he couldn't hold a line. He got put in the middle lane. He was
very unstable and
he was
wobbly.
ping-ponging.
Yeah.
And I know the wind was high. I mean, he's probably never been in those conditions before, to be fair. The wind was really high.
Mike Joy kept saying it was the windiest Daytona 500 ever.
Yes.
Officially.
And turn 4 was already calamity corner for every series.
Yeah.
Especially, surprisingly for these Cup cars. Normally they're glued to the ground, but they were getting tight. They were getting loose off turn 4. We saw Kyle Busch lose it. Although Kyle Busch losing it in the next gen car is not really surprising now that I say that out loud. But
Yeah.
it's still, turn 4 was calamity corner. Connor Zilisch kind of got up into Ross Chastain in the higher lane, his teammate, and then that lane checked up, and then they turned. I got to see the replay. I don't even remember what happened, but basically the outside lane getting checked up, someone got bumped, turned, they wrecked.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Connor lost a few laps. Just sucks. Took a lot of good cars out. With Chase Briscoe, who was leading a lot of laps, running up front, controlling the field. One of those Toyotas.
Yep.
Got taken out in that. It just sucks.
Then the Corey Heim one, that one sucked too.
That one, because I think the Zilisch one was kind of ooh, that didn't look good.
This one was just a bad push by Corey Heim.
It wasn't,
Which I feel like it's just a thing that happens in these races, but it was still, I could say it's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, it's like the end of the race. It's the last run. You're starting to get nervous. You're in the thick of it, and you're trying to line up, especially on the exit of the corner. You're trying to line up with the car in front of you, which happens to be his boss.
Yeah.
But he misaligned it, or he caught him quicker than he thought he was going to. Maybe the outside lane was checking up, and he spun Hamlin, collected Bell. Not great when it's your first Daytona 500, right? But
yeah.
He was somewhat impressive though. Still, I mean, he was one of the cars involved in that blockade in stage 3. So.
Yeah.
Good, decent showing for Corey Heim. Great all weekend. Very focused. TV was hyping him up. I mean, he's going to be a star in the sport one day.
For sure. And let's talk about the final lap.
Yes.
Because, man, this end of the race was honestly really fun. Before that caution that put us with 6 to go or so, 5 to go.
Yeah, stage 3 in the Daytona 500 is great.
Really fun. I know people didn't like the fuel saving. I'm really neutral on the fuel saving. I know it can be annoying and kind of boring sometimes, but I don't know. I'd rather have that than them wreck 20 times they were.
They do both. They do both. They do all the fuel saving, but we're still talking about all these wrecks that kind of make the fuel saving not matter as much.
Yeah, but going into the end here, when they made the white flag, first of all, I was relieved because that meant no overtime.
Yes.
Thank God, because we could have.
Dinner was ready in the other room.
Yeah.
We were ready to eat.
His mom made us dinner, which
Yes.
was really great, by the way.
Yes.
And she's like,
You act like she's listening.
but the overtime, we could have had that because NASCAR, wasn't there a wreck right before the line or was it right after?
It was like, what's it called? After the tri-oval.
Yeah.
And it, like Hocevar hit the wall, but everyone kind of went around him. Like no one was like sideways stopped hitting the wall hard.
So pros here, pros and cons. The pro is we didn't have overtime, and the other pro is we didn't have a caution right away, which I thought we were gonna get that for sure.
Ricky Stenhouse would have 2 Daytona 500 victories.
Well, when on that final lap, I was telling you like, oh my gosh, Stenhouse is up front. Oh my gosh, it's Chase Elliott. And in our prediction video, if you haven't watched or listened to it yet, little spoiler alert, you made a prediction that there would be a controversy with Hendrick, that NASCAR was helping Hendrick or whatever.
Oh, right.
If they would have thrown the caution while Chase Elliott was out front, that might have fallen into
Especially
that.
like waiting for like Elliott to take
That
the
long.
lead and
Yeah.
then they throw it. Because you were saying when they were on the backstretch, like they haven't done the caution yet.
Yeah, and I was saying like Chase Elliott won this race. They're going to have to throw the yellow. Like, what are they waiting for?
Because you were thinking there was still wreckage like after the start and finish line.
Yeah. I'm like, they're probably still sitting there. They're going to have to throw the yellow. Never came. I'm glad it never did.
I don't think anyone was like stopped.
Right.
It was,
But- Anyways, this race comes down to the final lap. We talked about how Reddick did it, but the crash, Carson Hocevar and Eric Jones end up crashing. Hocevar, I thought was going to wreck Michael McDowell, who, by the way, did not pit.
He was
saving his fuel.
We'll get to that in the fuel saving, but Hocevar, he like made a block on Jones, and then what's his name? Stenhouse was like right up on Jones because I thought Jones kind of like misaligned the push he was giving to the 77 at first.
Yeah.
But the 77 was also going for a block, like it's a moving target. Stenhouse is on his rear, like it's a bad bump. It caused a wreck. Not the first time that happened like that day. Like so it just, I mean it about to happen like a lap before with Hocevar and McDowell. So that's just it's one of those things I don't like about this aero package with this super speedway racing.
Yeah.
Even though it was more spread out today because handling mattered, but
Yeah.
it just happened. I'm glad the caution did not come out. That's been consistent with what they've been calling this weekend. There were so many spins. Remember that one Corey Day spin off of turn 4 in the O'Reilly race?
Yeah.
He's like almost coming back up the track. Almost. He didn't.
That was scary.
They didn't throw the caution because he did stay on the apron the entire time. He never came back on the track.
Yeah.
Got back going. So they didn't throw the caution. I hope NASCAR stays consistent with that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how we need to be running
This
these
was
races.
a great weekend.
Great weekend of NASCAR officiating, honestly. Because we had a race end under caution. It was one of the dual races. It needed to. There was a hard hit. Like, it is what it is.
I am not holding my breath, but I hope that this can be a trend throughout the whole year where they hold off on the yellow. Like, I think the only time you need to throw a yellow is when there's a car obviously like crashing in front of other cars and they're coming head.
Like the track is blocked.
Track's blocked, or if there's very obvious debris,
Or someone hits
like
hard.
someone hits the wall really hard.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to throw it if someone just like gets a little sideways. Like we were doing that a lot for a while there. Like if someone just got a little sideways and loose and they save it, but they throw the yellow before they actually save it, like that's not necessary.
Like Daniel Suarez spinning off turn 4. It was one of the 500s one year.
Yeah.
I remember. And it was like late in the race. I think it was the one Kyle Busch was like going to win almost.
Yeah. But thankfully we didn't have any sort of controversy there. But right at the finish line, this is, I think, what made you a little upset with the finish initially.
This just kind of set it over the edge for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Riley Herbst, they were like, what, 3 wide for second, first?
you know, everyone's getting
cars
runs.
drafting, trying to get the win. Brad Keselowski has this huge run on the outside, and here comes Riley Herbst with a horrendous block. Blocks Brad.
Wasn't
wrecks
even a block.
Brad.
He was never in front of him when he started touching the steering wheel. Like he's just running into the side of the 6.
Yeah. And Brad said as much that it was pretty stupid what the 35
It's
did.
so
and that it wrecked a
dumb.
bunch of cars for no reason.
And because I was hoping Brad would win the race, to be fair, so I have some bias. Even if Brad got around the 35, he's not going to win the race. But he
would've got
could have
closer.
maybe finished second or third, and we don't wreck all those cars for no reason.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, why are we wrecking all these cars for no reason? Just to, like, help your teammate win the 500, which I get that's important, but you don't need to, like, literally, like, turn... It looked like iRacing. It just looked like you have no idea what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And I get he's like Riley Herbst, and he's not that experienced, but it's like...
Yeah.
Like Corey... Like, I think it's worse than like Corey Heim, what Corey Heim did.
Oh, yeah.
When he accidentally like hit Hamlin.
Yeah.
And maybe it's, you know, I know who needs to be in the 35 car.
So what I was going to say is I've been playing around on your sim rig while I've been here, and I did Daytona, and Zach's watching me, and he's like, you have really good awareness of what's going on around you. And I was like 3 wide at one point, playing against AI, mind you. I was not against real people.
No, I was not putting... y'all safe. Don't worry. Don't worry. Y'all can keep logging on. Go ahead and sign up for AFIX.
But I was just 3 wide, and you said that. And you saying that he was not aware of his surroundings. I'm like, well, put me in the 35.
I mean, I know it's the finish of the Daytona 500, but like, and I know you want to help your teammate. And I know you don't want to help Chase Elliott and push him past your teammate. That does not mean you suicide yourself into Brad Keselowski.
Yeah.
What are we doing? That was Mickey Mousery to me. That was Mickey Mousery.
And it is a shame that is what the finish of these races are, but I was still just like, this is way better. This is still the best race, Daytona 500 of the decade. It does suck that we had to have a wreck at the end, but ultimately it doesn't change my opinion on the race as a whole. If we had overtime like 3 times and then we had that,
and adds an hour,
it would have been like, oh my god, we just wasted a million some.
Overtime is the enemy. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. My problem is ever since 2019 they put the giant spoilers on these cars. Mm-hmm. Everyone's able to get such a huge run, and you know, letting off is not an option on the final lap for them.
Yeah,
you have to take it somewhere. I mean, you have to just take it somewhere. I think Riley Herbst was trying to take his run, go to the right. Well, there's a car there, though, who also has a bigger run than you. It's just, I just like the style of the O'Reilly cars, and it just feels like drivers are more in control, and it's less like Mario Kart. Because we've had these finishes increasing more and more since 2019, since we've added those giant spoilers. Yeah. Just wrecking across the line.
And we have some Patreon comments on their thoughts on the finish from Daniel. That's the kind of finish I like to see. Just let them run. None of the green-white checker crap repeated 4 or 5 times. I'm with you. And Dirt says that was the best Daytona 500 of the next-gen era, in my opinion. The racing product delivered a great race. The drivers put on a good show. I agree with both of them.
I mean, it's not like... It could have been worse. I don't know why I'm so hung up on it. Yeah. The chaos, the 2 crashes on the final... Like, we've seen worse. I mean, at least Tyler Reddick won the race because he made passes. Yeah. William Byron won the race because he didn't get in a crash.
Like, if the Herbst crash happened, like, that was the leaders, everyone's crashing, and then whoever just makes it through is the winner, like, that would have sucked.
That would have sucked,
but yes. I don't think I'm as upset as you are because of how Reddick got the win. Like, he still had the pass Smith, he had the pass Chase Elliott.
That's why I'm not upset.
And that was all done cleanly. Herbst just, caused a crash after the fact. So I'm not as upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as upset as I was last year either. Like, I enjoyed this race. Don't get me wrong.
It was a really good race.
I think I'm just not gonna like this. Even with handling mattering more, it's still not perfect for me.
Handling mattered a lot more. We had a very windy race, and a lot of people I saw on social media were saying, when I checked social media here and there, it reminded them of like an early 2000s race. You were saying it reminded you of some Gen 6 era races. It was solid.
It was.
I think the wind kept them from being able to be right on top of each other the entire race, which I think lessened how many crashes we saw, maybe to an extent. We don't have as much tire mud issues yet.
But even in like the August race, though, like handling kind of came back to Daytona in the August race, and I mean, I guess the track is aging. I know in Speed Weeks last year, I noticed like ARCA and trucks had a lot of problems off turn 4. Yeah, the problem corner at Daytona, and I think it's finally hitting to where it's like all that grip the next gen cars have it's not enough. We're going to start getting tight, but it's not to the point where we need tires. Yeah, because we've had all this criticism about fuel saving and stuff, but I don't think fuel saving is going to go away until they need tires. Because if you're not taking tires, the only other thing you can do to save time is fuel save. Yeah, and they're not. And crew chiefs have constantly said they're not going to just forget about that. Yeah, forget about that. Like they're not going to de-engineer themselves and forget about it. So I don't know.
We have a Patreon comment from Shane. It was fun to watch. Is handling now a topic at Daytona? Fuel mileage racing needs to go, and it all came down to a last lap pass. At times, it was reminiscent of a Gen 4 era Daytona race, but the current car is heading in the right direction.
I agree.
And then Shane also says 2311 is definitely the best team at drafting tracks and will be a contender to win at both Atlanta and Talladega and the next Daytona race. NASCAR still needs to do away with stage cautions, I agree, because that would help with mitigating fuel mileage racing. Overall, this was the best Daytona race in years. I think we've seen better Daytona fall races. Would you agree with that?
Maybe. Yeah.
Daytona 500,
last year's fall
absolutely.
race, last year's night race was great. So, yeah sure.
But is handling now a topic? I think that was mainly the wind today. But you did mention
the August race. So that's I don't think it's going to go away.
Maybe we're at a point where, I mean, you said that you alluded to this too. Like the track is finally starting to wear, kind of like how we've seen with Charlotte.
Yeah,
Charlotte's starting to wear as well, and it took like 12, 15 years. But yeah, maybe we're at that point.
I mean, this surface is now 15 years old.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look that like good either. Like it looks like a racetrack. It's great, but yeah. The stage cautions and the fuel saving. Let's talk about that because something happened in stage one I found very interesting because that caution came out for the BJ McLeod spin early. You know, everyone's pitting, everyone's coming in the top off. Well, except Kyle Busch. Don't
understand that
still don't. I don't think it mattered, but
no,
whatever. Anyways, everyone's topping off, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're gonna have a shorter pit stop, right? That's what everyone's kind of thinking.
Yeah.
And then we have some guys pit, but the Fords, it was, you wrote it down. It was like the Penske's, it was some of the RFKs, the Spire cars. They stayed out. It was like 10 cars. Zane Smith, they stayed out. And they stayed out, and they stayed out, and they finished the stage.
Yep.
Zane Smith wins the stage, and that kind of blew my mind. They went like 59 laps, I believe, give or take, on one take of fuel, course caution laps included. Wow. That's kind of unheard of for Daytona. Like normally the fuel window, you know, is like 45 laps, maybe 50 if they're like doing that kind of saving. But that I feel like they kind of pushed the limit. Remember, at the Daytona 500, the stages used to be 60 laps.
Yeah.
Right? But NASCAR, they were kind of approaching that number. So, and with cautions and stuff, NASCAR kind of made the stage length 65 laps. You know, that will be good. They're definitely not going to make it 65 laps, but
they still pulled it off.
They're kind of they're pushing the window. Like these teams are pushing the window even further. And that's so interesting to me. And that's why it's like you can try to change the stage lengths, but mathematically in a 200-lap race, there's nothing else you can do. You have 65, 70. There's nothing else you can really do. Like, unless you have stages where they're not pitting at all, which is kind of lame to me. You know, that would be kind of lame.
Can they try 1 year, just 1 year, a year where all the crown jewels, they don't stop the race for the stage cautions?
But what are we going to do at the halftime at the 600? What, you mean I have to salute the troops or cars on the track? Are you serious?
Yeah, you do.
God. But I think going back to the chase and stuff, I feel like we really need to take a good look at stage cautions. Because I don't
waste so much time, and there was weather on the way. It started raining like 20 minutes after the checkered flag, and they moved the start up by an hour. Thank God they did. We'd still be waiting for them to just before they call it right now. These cautions add so much time. It wastes 8 or 9 laps.
Yeah, because they
ran
in
stage 2 allows them to save more fuel. It's so silly. We don't need that much time. If you're gonna have these stage cautions, you need to make them quickie yellows, because I don't think they lessen how many commercials we have. We'll talk about commercials in a bit. It's just the stage cautions don't add anything besides another restart. It doesn't make the product any better. And especially right now, super speedway racing, it's not helping.
And they kind of choke away like alternate strategies, in my opinion. Like if anyone wants to try not fuel saving and just go all out, I mean, there is the question. Well, first of all, the question gets brought up: are they going to have to do an extra pit stop if we don't have stages, right?
Yeah.
But another question is they have time to make up the difference with their pace and break away from the fuel savers and not have to worry about a stage caution coming out and resetting everything. And then they lose those positions on the next pit stop during the stage caution. Like, I think. And at other tracks, like at Darlington, the racing at Darlington is great when everyone's got like different tire life, like like different tire life cycles or whatever you want to call it because of green flag stops. Like every single race on the schedule would be better without stage cautions. Daytona 500 especially, any super speed race especially, because I don't think you can do whatever you want with the stages. You're not getting rid of fuel saving unless handling becomes a factor. Changing the stage lengths is what's going to make fuel saving go away. We had a few Patreon members say some stuff about it.
Yeah. We have Patreon member Finley who said, awesome race, awesome finish. Maybe the best Fox broadcast I've seen in years. We'll talk Fox in a second. I know people don't like fuel saving, but it's like, okay, then what can you do to actually solve it?
Exactly.
To me, it's just an aspect of racing that has creeped into this style of racing, and I like it. It adds another layer to draft style of racing. Yeah, I'm with you. And then we have Phil, who said, despite the fuel saving, which I'm sure will draw criticism, I was entertained throughout the race.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I think we are on it. Like, I mean, the fuel saving's not perfect.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be in my perfect version of the Daytona 500, but they do it at Indy, too. They fuel save at Indy, but it's a little bit different how they do it at Indy, because track position still matters. Like, you don't hang out in the back fuel saving, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even, let's say they were to get rid of the stages, how likely would it be that they'd go in the train for a while? And people didn't like the train racing either.
I think at least the pack would get spread out. And, you know, if you lose the lead draft, are you going to fuel save? No, you're going to catch the lead draft. It's going to look, yeah.
They were more spaced out than we've seen before. And we had, at times, smaller different packs.
Yeah, like there was a line of cars that lost the lead draft. I found that
perhaps if we did get rid of stages, you could have something like in 2003, I believe it was, 2004, you could see a lot more of the gaps like that.
Yeah.
Different packs.
And, you know, they had, you know, handling would also help that too if handling comes into play. But you're going to have to change the aero package for that. And they don't want to do that because blah, blah, blah. Denny Hamlin's explained it a million times.
And then there was that one point that Toyotas were just controlling the whole bottom lane.
Yeah.
They were all lined up. I think Chase Elliott was in between some of them at one point.
Well, they were like 3 wide. Like, there was one in each lane. Corey Heim, Bubba Wallace, I think Christopher Bell. They literally had every single...
But there were a bunch of Toyotas lined up on the bottom. Yeah. So if someone wanted to pit, the Toyotas were blocking them. They didn't really have a way to get down. And so when all the Toyotas came to pit, well, not all of them, half of them of the bottom line came down, which I thought was weird. Why didn't they all come down together? They still won. Toyota did. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it was just kind of, that's a big problem with the fuel saving, is that one manufacturer can dictate the race in that major of a way. It's like, oh, we're in the bottom lane, we're not gonna let the rest of you
I think I'm like 50-50 on, like, you know, that is a legit problem versus y'all are just being babies, like, and enjoy the strategy of it. But it's I think stages are the problem, though. I think stages are the problem.
Yeah.
Because if you just let the race play out naturally, I think it's harder to complain about it.
Yeah.
It's gonna force less, I don't know, weird instances.
You know, I mentioned the Crown Jewels being stage free. What if they did all the super speedway stage free, like they did with road courses that one year?
Yeah, but then they just didn't. They just needed, every race needs to have the same rules.
Oh,
like yeah, or, you know, to a reasonable extent. Like, I'm just over, again, the chase is back. I think there's a way to do mid-race points. I mean, IMSA does it for their Michelin Endurance Cup. Like, they reward points depending on where you are at hour 3, hour whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it for, like, I don't know, pick 2 points in the race, or just do, like, the halfway point and just award points there. I don't know.
Well, hot take. I think this was Fox's best broadcast in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, a very long time.
Now, it wasn't like Prime. Chill out, y'all.
Calm down.
It was not Prime.
I hear y'all typing.
It was not Prime. It was not that good.
No.
But on Fox standards, I wasn't, like, I was focused on the race and not the broadcast. You know what I mean?
There was a point when Clint Boyer's like, this is going to work out great for Michael McDowell. And at that point, we thought McDowell was going to pit. You know?
And I think he did, too. That's the thing. I think he thought he was going to pit too.
So he still had a silly Boyer moment. I think Harvick still stutters a bit too much.
The booth is awkward.
And Mike Joy is getting...
He says something, awkward silence, and then he says something again.
The booth chemistry is still not there, but this was still a solid race from them. They're actually giving analysis at times, which... That's crazy for the Fox booth.
Yes.
Listen, the standards are so low for Fox. I'm praising them for doing analysis. That's their job. But I actually thought they did a pretty good job this year.
The comic book portraits are gone too.
Comic book portraits are gone. The graphics look pretty good, I think.
And people are nitpicking the hell out of the Fox graphics. Bro, can we just enjoy that the comics are gone? Oh, but the slant makes the text look off center. Girl, I don't care about that.
The graphics, I think, are better than TNT's.
I don't even remember didn't TNT have the weird small font?
Yeah.
I don't
See, Fox is like too big and TNT's is like really tiny.
I mean, this is like so much better than what they had last year.
Definitely.
Because like it looked presentable. It looked like the broadcast was not distracting.
And you know, we watched pre-race. We were doing some other things during it.
Good.
We were still. I was doing sim racing. You were doing sim racing.
Yeah.
Pre-race was not bad. There wasn't like any overly silly bits.
True.
They actually had some serious interviews, and then they had like a little big table with Chris Myers, Kevin Harvick, and Boyer, and Jamie McMurray, and they all provided analysis on different things and pieces. I thought this was a decent broadcast for Fox, really. And then during the race, they did side-by-side commercials every single time. I don't think we missed a single green flag lap today, did we?
I don't think so, and that's huge for the Daytona 500.
For
like
Fox?
That is huge.
For Fox, that's huge. Not just the Daytona 500, but Fox?
That is huge, and this needs to be the standard going forward. Not just super speedway races. Like, this needs to be the standard going forward. We pay attention to the TV more, by the way, side-by-side commercials. I don't know if advertisers, like, realize that.
Because, I mean, I think I was on my phone less because I was with you, but at the same time, I was on my phone way less because of no full screen commercial.
I was holding off on bathroom breaks.
If there's you kept trying to go to the bathroom and they would do side by side and you were like, I can't go.
Like, I want to watch. Like, I don't want to miss anything. Like, I thought something was going to happen. So I'm telling you, like, side by side commercials, everyone wins. The advertisers get more eyes, I swear. Like, I'm not going to leave the TV.
Like, I could tell you, that damn Wendy's commercial played so many times, but it's just like, I was watching it because the race was still there.
There were commercials I've heard 1,000 times before, but that was the first time I actually watched the commercial. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyways, but Fox, like, they just gave us a race broadcast. They didn't try to, like, oh, casual fans, here's this NASCAR's so fun, haha. Like, we still had the cringe, like, you know.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Fox still has issues, obviously.
Oh, they're not perfect.
But hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. I'm one of their biggest critics. I think y'all know if you've been listening to the podcast for a while. I think they actually took in some feedback that a lot of people were saying.
Yes, I agree. Kind of following NASCAR's route. They're taking feedback.
Yeah.
They're listening.
I mean, like you said, the comic book portraits are gone. The graphics got an overhaul. I feel like they focus more on the race.
The commercials. Going side by side. Like, that's direct feedback.
I think Boyer was better behaved. Like, he wasn't, like, goofing off as much. I mean, he had moments. Again,
I don't think the booth was even improved at all. No. I think they just had a good day in the office. Yeah. Like, they just had a good day in the office. Like, again, whatever.
Yeah. Otherwise, and also they weren't, like, on onboards all the time, which is something I've complained about so much. They weren't super zoomed in all the time.
Camera direction wasn't that bad. You're right.
Yeah, they were actually zoomed out. You could see things.
Still not perfect.
Fox learned how to do a double box this year.
I did realize that.
I was shocked in the duels. They were doing like a double box at times. Like, oh my god! And then they were actually showing when the pits would happen.
They had the track map up for the track map? That was actually really good. The track map.
And see, this is stuff NBC, TNT, and Prime. That's what you expect. But Fox is like none of it until now. So good job. I'm hoping this continues.
It took us till we're sitting here, but it's like we got to really follow that race without distractions or brick walls.
Because normally with the Fox race specifically, I have to be on Twitter. Like, oh my god, what just happened? Because Fox isn't telling me. I feel like if I didn't miss anything, which is rare for a Fox race.
Okay, but Thursday night
was pretty rough.
That I kind of forgot about that because Thursday night, I mean, it's what, 10 laps? It was the duel, right? 10 laps left in the duel.
They did go to a commercial with 10 to go in a duel. Yeah.
And like the racing, like Carson Hocevar was like making moves. Like that was bad. And that's why it's like this might just be like a super speedway like points race thing. Right? Like if it's an FS Fun what race, like are we gonna get the same treatment? I don't know. Or maybe they took feedback directly from Thursday night. Maybe they learned quick. I don't know. We'll have to see.
It will be interesting to see if Atlanta has all side-by-side commercials, and then if we go to a road course. because NBC, the Talladega race they have, and Daytona, I believe.
Yeah, they did it at the Super Speedway.
They do side by side every commercial there. But Fox never made a big PR announcement about this. So
you think they would have?
You think they would have because it's good PR.
Yeah,
but
yeah, best showing for NASCAR on Fox, and just in general, like this felt like a return to form for the entire sport.
Yeah.
Like this year is kind of a return to form for NASCAR, everyone involved.
And maybe we just feel more optimistic because we're watching it together and not looking at Twitter.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, true. That's true. That could be it.
I don't know. I was in a good mood.
But no, like genuinely, that race was a lot better because I know how to complain. I love to complain.
You found a way. Found a way to complain.
I know. With you next to me, I would have been complaining for 3 hours. Because you would listen. I would have, but I did not have that much to complain about. Yeah. Really.
It was really just the ending for you.
Yeah, just the ending. Just kind of, I don't know.
So we also watched the O'Reilly Auto Parts race and the truck race together.
No apps.
The no apps. He wants to call it no apps.
I hate calling it O'Reilly. First of all, I get what those rednecks back in 2008 when they went away from Busch Series. I feel you. I hear you because I really don't want to stop calling it Xfinity.
The switch from Busch to Nationwide as a kid was like, okay, I can get it
because our brains had space for it.
The switch from Nationwide to Xfinity, I was like, okay. And that was, 10 years ago? I would have been like 16 or so.
It's because we're old now, Alex.
But now it's like this switch. I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is rough.
I think because also it's another switch, too.
Yeah.
Like, they need to pick something.
They should have done what they did with the Cup Series. It's just the Cup Series. Put like a band, like the Grand National Series.
Or like I suggested, like the Challenger Series. Like then you call them the Challenger cars. Oh, he did really good in the Challenger car. Mm-hmm. Like, because these guys are the challengers. They're challenging for the Cup Series.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. But.
And then to have like premier partners for that specific series, and CW can really advertise.
Or you could just call it the O'Reilly Challenger Series. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Challenger Series.
Yeah.
Just have it. You need to have branding. We have Cup, we have Truck, then we have a sponsor. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Weird. But, yeah, anyway, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, the no apps, pretty good race, I thought. I enjoyed myself.
It was. Again, it's my favorite super speedway package in the top 3 series. It was great racing. You had your players up front. Austin Hill, Jesse Love controlled the race. Guess who won? Austin Hill.
Shocker.
But, girl, put Tony Stewart or Denny Hamlin in one of those cars. Maybe not Tony Stewart. Put Denny Hamlin in that car, in one of those cars, he's getting cooked. No one wants to win that damn race. They're all fighting for second. So Patreon member Dirt, what's y'all's theory for why Austin Hill keeps getting away with it at drafting tracks and no apps? Sorry.
Share the microphone.
No. I was grabbing it because I was passionate about this Austin Hill stuff. Listen, no one wants to win that damn race. I'm telling you.
They don't know how to work together.
You have to work together.
We were talking about this. Why someone like Denny Hamlin would be able to come in and probably kick some ass, probably, is because he's done this long enough. He knows you have to work with other people to make it to the front. In the O'Reilly race, they're just driving and they're not trying to work together at all. Like Junior Motorsports, how many times have they all wrecked each other?
They'll have 4 cars.
Sammy Smith made a move Carson Kvapil made a move. Sammy Smith made some moves too, but Carson Kvapil made a move that derailed. Was it Allgaier's run or Smith's run?
It was Smith. Well, Smith was leading the top lane, and then Carson started a third lane
that just derailed the JRM shot at winning the race
because it killed the outside lane.
Yeah,
and I get it, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Stay with the outside line. And honestly, he probably would have finished better if he just stayed with the outside line. Mm-hmm. Because, it just frustrates me because the most powerful position to be in super speedway racing is second. Because you have advantage. You have draft advantage over the leader. You just need help behind you.
Yeah.
When they're all like crabs in a bucket for second, Austin Hill's going to win that race. Because with that draft package, and this is why people don't like the draft package, it's easier to defend, right? But it's not guaranteed to defend. It's just Austin Hill makes it look easy because the entire series doesn't know what to do, and Austin Hill is good enough to never let any hole stay open for that long. He will cover it.
And I think the other thing is, too, Austin Hill and Jesse Love work together.
Yes. Jesse Love had
no one else really does.
Jesse Love, that poor man, he would always be second and he'd be on the bottom lane and it would just die.
Yeah.
And then he would get sent to 10th or something. He was complaining about that on the radio.
Yeah.
But besides that, Austin Hill is great. Like, you don't just win these races by luck. But I think Austin Hill is great, but he's also racing all these guys like they're O'Reilly drivers, right? Oh, but Justin Allgaier is a veteran. Check 20 minutes ago what we were saying about Justin Allgaier because he's like, I told you, you said Austin Hill is really good on Saturday, right? And I told you, I was like, okay, but he's not racing Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski. If you put those guys, Denny Hamlin, if you put those guys in those O'Reilly cars, Austin Hill is getting clapped. I'm telling you.
I still think Austin Hill's a really good plate racer.
He is.
Speedway racer. But I do think you have a point that if and when Austin Hill goes to the Cup Series full time at some point, there will be a bit of a learning curve. Albeit, I think he'd be at least as good as Justin Haley was. Like, Justin Haley was always a contender. But he's Cup Series.
I feel Austin Hill has done super speedway races in the Cup Series though for RCR. Like, sure, it's a part-time team, and that's another thing too. The O'Reilly RCR cars, they're fast. You know, they don't have spec cars. They build their cars still. They're really fast cars. They're fast in qualifying. They handle well. That's also a factor. That's also why Austin Hill is able to, you know, just dominate these races.
Yeah.
So.
We have on here twice. Carson Hocevar spins a lot. Hocevar wrecked in every race this weekend.
Yes. Like, every race. Like, oh my God.
He was it the truck or O'Reilly race? Like, he was spinning like
it was trucks. It was trucks. To be fair, he was like blowing tires.
He was pretty quiet in the O'Reilly race. He was quiet in one, but then he ended up spinning.
He did end up spinning in the O'Reilly race though. But yeah, the truck race, he was having a disaster. And honestly, he probably could have won that race. Like, he was, you know, him and Spire had really good trucks. They were controlling that race.
Yeah.
Michael McDowell was in that race with him, his teammate. Yeah. But yeah, Carson Hocevar. Not even, I really don't have anything to say for Carson Hocevar. I just think it's funny.
It's just funny.
I'm not, no criticism. He helped Chase Elliott win the dual race Thursday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 straight nights of racing for Carson Hocevar. I think he found out why the rest of the Cup drivers do not sign up for more than one race when it's Daytona weekend.
Yeah.
Because you just get wrecked 3 times.
Before we fully go into truck race, Natalie Decker, don't choke.
That really hurt.
Listen.
When I tell you we were laughing for 20 minutes.
Listen, first of all, her headshot serves. She ate down.
She was eating it up. She said, all right, Natalie, give us a smile. She said, no, I'm not giving you a smile. I'm giving you a look. Like, Jesse Love's CW portrait last year has nothing on Natalie Decker.
It was so good.
She was slaying. I'm kind of a fan after this weekend. I'm not going to lie.
Listen, so we found it really funny. She gets in this crash, which was not her fault. Sam Mayer goes up the track, and then she has nowhere to go, trying to go up high. Her spotter was telling her where to go. But do you think it was her fault?
She could have hit the brakes a little harder.
Okay.
I mean,
but
that's what I mean.
Okay.
That wreck started a long time ago. I'm just saying.
But the thing is that her radio was really funny because she's like, that really hurt.
But no, it's the way she said it though too. It's that really hurt.
It's like, girl, you were in a crash. I'm sure it did hurt.
Listen,
I don't know. It was just funny.
As 2 gay men, we know this more than anything. Like, any minority in motorsports is going to get made fun of, and they're going to get more criticism. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, I feel bad that this happened. Mm-hmm. But I did find it funny. I hate to say I did find it funny, but like, Natalie Decker, like, I don't even know last time she was in the O'Reilly car.
It's been a while.
That's
she
the
had
thing.
A baby, right?
And that goes into more point that, like, I'm not just critical of, like, people like Natalie Decker that, like, you know, anyone can race at Daytona. Because, like, we're going to talk about Cletus McFarland in a little bit. There was just a lot of examples over the weekend of, like, just people. It's like, why are we letting people race at Daytona when they're, I don't know, are they up to par with how they need to be?
Yeah.
Driving skills. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say.
No.
But I did find that funny.
It was just the radio was really funny.
It was the radio.
The way she was saying that.
That really hurt. I mean, she's right.
Yeah, it hurt.
It hurt.
It did. Trucks. So Chandler Smith won after missing the Daytona 500. third time, by the way. He has not made the Daytona 500 after trying to.
Oh my God, Casey Mears.
Casey Mears in the dual race. We really enjoyed
Thursday night. Thursday night, that was Mickey Mousery, but that was like Mickey Mousery I did not mind.
That was funny. Yeah, Chandler Smith won truck race. I don't really have thoughts on that, but good for him.
Yeah, I don't have thoughts either. Truck race was good though, good finish.
Tony Stewart though was in the race, and I felt bad. He got collected in one of those crashes. And before the race started, he's like, yeah, this is the only race I'm doing. But then after he gets wrecked out, he says they asked him on the radio, like, hey, we hope you will consider coming back sometime. Like, this is so fun. Hopefully we can do a full race sometime. And he's like, yeah, maybe we'll have to do that.
That must have really hurt for him, too, if he's saying that. There's no way.
He told whoever it was, the pit reporter in the pits, like, yeah, never say never. But it's just like, earlier today, Tony, you
I think it kind of alludes to the fact that he's back at Daytona 10 years later.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize those 10 years since he retired. Like, yeah. I knew that, but I didn't realize 10 years had passed.
I mean, 2016 was 10 years ago. Did you guys know that?
I don't want to talk about it. I like, really don't want to talk about it.
When you verbally say it, that sounds insane.
I really don't want to.
Tony Stewart last season was in 2016.
God. But yeah, it just sucks. There are a lot of all-stars in the truck race, including like some like Cup drivers.
A lot of Cup drivers were in that race. Michael McDowell, we mentioned. Ricky Stenhouse was in it. Carson Hocevar, we mentioned.
Which makes it cool that guys like Gio Ruggiero and Chandler Smith were like the ones kind of like fighting for that win at the end.
So this is the Gay Racing Podcast. Gio Ruggiero. I'm just saying.
Keep an eye on him because I will be keeping both of my eyes on him. He's so pretty.
I did like how he's
got a good attitude.
He was in the O'Reilly race too, and he got in a wreck. And he's like, you would think these guys would know they're not supposed to wreck. He said something like that.
A man with an attitude. I love that.
And then, if I remember right, I think he rolled his eyes, and I'm like, ooh, okay.
And then I started barking at the TV. And
he did. I can confirm he did start barking at the TV.
Stop.
You were meowing, I think, too.
Girl, you better stop. Anyways, I'm excited to see how Gio Ruggiero progresses in his career. Let's talk about Cletus McFarland, because Patreon Dirt brings up the question, what do y'all make of the Cletus McFarland subplot in trucks? And he made his Truck Series debut. He did ARCA last year at Daytona, Talladega, and Charlotte, I believe. I think we talked about this last year. I think we said, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Cletus McFarland is fine because, you know, he's a YouTuber, but he does racing. Like, he drives cars. He does racing stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit different flavor of it, I guess. Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of drag racing.
Yeah, but, you know, in terms of like YouTube celebrities or influencers coming in racing NASCAR, right? I think we say, you know, Cletus McFarland is fine, but this could set a dangerous precedent. Yeah. But I don't know, something about Cletus McFarland just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
There's a quote from motorsport.com when they were interviewing him this weekend. Cletus says, "I will hold a trophy here at Daytona." I don't think that's how that works. That's like saying that, oh, I'm going to win the Indianapolis 500.
Because I think in races like Daytona and Indianapolis, tracks like that, it is such a historical place where you can't say, like, I will do this. I feel like you have to earn it, and the track has to decide you get it. And it's more like Daytona. Yeah, it's a crapshoot, and a lot of times. I think that comment, I think he's just like, he's determined. He's saying he's determined, like he's going to win at Daytona at some point. He's not saying he's like deserving of it necessarily. But I do think that comment, I can see why people were not happy.
It rubbed me the wrong way. And just in general, like, he spun off turn 4 in the truck race, like lap, I don't know, 7.
6. I think it was lap 6.
6, 7.
6, 7.
But that was stupid. I'm sorry. But like,
we are in our mid-20s. We're so sorry.
Listen, I feel like Daytona and Talladega even more has become this where it's like anyone can get in there. It's like, I made the joke. Me and Alex can go race at Daytona, right?
Especially in the ARCA series.
Exactly. And maybe ARCA is genuinely the place for that. Yeah. That's fine. The trucks is where it's like, I don't know if we really need to be having this. Because, like,
I feel like you shouldn't be learning how to do it in the NASCAR's third highest level.
And yeah, they had a 15-minute practice, but is that really enough? No. We talked about this last year with somebody. It might have been Cletus McFarland. Like, it was the ARCA race in general. The ARCA race last year
was it Elio Castroneves? Because he didn't get a lot of practice.
Like, asking these guys to come do super speedway racing, something very dangerous. The most dangerous thing we do in stock car racing.
Yeah.
without a lot of practice and experience.
To answer Dirt's question, though, I'm personally fine with Cletus McFarland. I don't think we need to extend it. Like, if Mr. Beast, for example, was like, I'm going to go buy out a ride in a NASCAR, and I'm going to race.
I spent $500,000 to buy this ride.
I think that would obviously be ridiculous, and NASCAR should obviously be like, no, you are not going to just do that.
And they have a process.
Yes.
They have a process.
With Cletus, what's his actual name?
Garrett Mitchell.
Garrett Mitchell. By the way, his truck said Mitchell, but the pylon said McFarland. What name does he want people to call him? I don't know.
I think partly it's Fox being like, this is Cletus McFarland, watch my race.
Yeah, but I think it's okay because he actually does do some racing things, and he's obviously very passionate with it. And he has said that Greg Biffle was working with him before Greg Biffle had passed to make a start in the Daytona 500.
And that's really charged Cletus, like in the off season.
And I do think that is a very cool story.
Yes.
And I have a feeling that he probably will make a Daytona 500 start in the next 5 years or so. I do think that will happen.
I don't disagree with you.
Will it be for like a Hendrick? No. It might be like in a Rick Ware car.
It might be BJ McLeod's car.
Or the 62, maybe one of those kind of cars. And that'd be a really cool story if he were to make it. But it's just like, is he going to get the provisional thing? Like, if he does it next year, is he?
I don't like sitting here and saying that we can guarantee that that's going to happen.
But is he going to get that provisional over Jimmy Johnson if he does it next year? Well, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of.
I don't think that's going to happen. But
reaching in the future,
if it's like 2028 and Jimmy's not going to go for the provisional because he's like done with driving, and Cletus is like the only one eligible for the provisional, is that going to be a thing? Like,
and is that going to be really controversial? Probably.
And like, I don't want that to be it's not a guarantee that you should be able to make it to the Cup Series because you're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's just the Daytona 500. That's the problem.
It's just the Daytona 500.
That's the problem. I don't think it needs to be anyone can race at Daytona. I think it's anyone who can race at Daytona. Not anyone can race at you have to know how to drive a race car.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm not familiar with his YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. That familiar. But like, this is big time auto racing. I don't know. There's just something about it rubs me the wrong way. I don't think he's done anything wrong, but again, the door's open for like worse stuff to happen. NASCAR, they do have their processes. Like Minnie Tyrell, who won the Ram race for the seat, his experience mostly has been short track racing, Cars Tour. He had to run the ARCA test and the race, weirdly enough, so that he could actually.
The ARCA race was after.
Yes, for him to be approved to start the truck race, his first super speedway, he had to do the test in ARCA in January, which is how people found out he won the competition. But anyways, that like they have a process, but like, does it need to be more thorough? Because this is like, imagine if they did this at the Indy 500. Like Kyle Larson for the Indy 500 had to go through so many rookie tests and stuff just to do the Indy 500.
Yeah.
And I know it's different than running a stock car at Daytona, but
I think the Cletus McFarland thing, the people we would want to do this is like someone like a Travis Pastrana, who was also in that truck race. Because Travis Pastrana does everything you can imagine on wheels.
But he also did it right. Like, he did a NASCAR stint.
Yeah.
And he committed to like a full season or multiple races, and he like really gave an effort.
Yeah.
And also, like, his portfolio is huge.
Let me go back to my Mr. Beast example.
Yes.
If he was like, hey, I'm going to run a whole season in NASCAR, I'm going to fund it, blah, 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 in the ARCA or Truck Series, I think I would respect that a little bit more because they're doing more than just the Daytona 500.
And Daytona Talladega. Like, because...
Cletus just does Daytona Talladega, right?
Basically. Like, he did Charlotte, too, last year, but caused a wreck on a restart. So, like that, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just really worried where it's going.
It's definitely an interesting thing. Like, where is this going to lead to? And it's definitely going to lead to somewhere. And hopefully NASCAR can not go down a bad road.
I think it's just, I don't know. And again, I'm biased because I don't really watch his stuff.
Yeah.
Either. Like, if this was, I don't know, someone we watched or followed, maybe we'd be more into it. And hey, it is probably attracting people to the sport. He has like, what's the number? Like 400 something million subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, it's people are watching that race to watch Cletus race.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Well, all in all, pretty good weekend at Daytona. I thought it was a pretty good speed week.
Pretty good speed weeks. NASCAR's back. Daytona's back. Much better mood than we were after the Daytona 500.
We're back in the flow of our weekly episodes, Zach. Are you ready? I gotta put him to work.
Oh my god! I still have to make a thumbnail.
Oh,
I made the doc.
He's gonna be grumpy. He's gonna be mad at me here in like 10 minutes.
He's gonna black eye next week. It's okay. We're gonna more super speedway racing. Yay! At Atlanta.
Oh man.
I don't want to watch more super speedway
If you
racing.
haven't listened or watched it yet, we did a predictions episode for the NASCAR season with Eric Estep last week, and we had a lot of new subscribers. Thank you for checking us out, and hope you're sticking around and watch this episode. Eric had no hesitation in joining. I actually asked him at a Jeff Gluck tweet up in September if he'd want to be on our podcast.
In person, Alex said. In person. Not just no DMs.
Yeah. And then I reached out again, I think in January at some point, being like, hey, would you want to do this? Blah, blah, blah. No hesitation, was like, yes. So great guy. Check out his content if you somehow don't already. He is a great guy. That was a lot of fun. This episode was a lot of fun.
It was just a good discussion, too. Like, he brought a lot to the table.
Our poll predictions, we predicted first, second, and fourth for Daytona 500 qualifying, which, not to brag, that's
who won the poll? Kyle Busch? Who picked Kyle Busch? Me.
You picked Kyle Busch.
Me.
That was pretty spot on.
And Chris Buescher finished better than Ryan Preece. So I got 1 point to start the season. Oh, we got to make fantasy picks.
I was just going to say, Zach.
No!
We have fantasy picks.
I didn't even think about that. Were you thinking about that?
I was thinking about that.
Oh, hell. Well, you pick first anyways.
I do pick first because you had Buescher, who finished ahead of Ryan Preece. I'm adding it to our doc right here because Zach forgot, which is okay.
I mean, I got the meat done. I don't know.
So for Atlanta, I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney.
Oh, of course you would.
Yep.
Of course you would.
No specific reason. I'm just going with Ryan Blaney. Who you got, Zach? You are looking at driveraverages.com.
All three Penske cars have the highest rating at Atlanta. Probably because they always lead laps, and then Brad Keselowski's under it. So do I go with a Penske car? So you pick Ryan Blaney?
I pick Ryan Blaney.
Well, the only one above Ryan Blaney is Joey Logano, so give me Joey Logano. He's bald, and it's an even year. Let's go. We're back. The aerodynamics.
So we're going from RFK at Daytona to Penske at
I can't
Atlanta.
let you beat me. And Blaney's not going to beat Logano. He hasn't at Atlanta already, so I'm just saying.
Okay.
I certainly wasn't going to pick Brad. This is not a second place competition. Gosh.
Brad's going to get wrecked by someone again at the end.
Yeah. I thought about picking Hocevar. Or, legitimately Chase Elliott. Because obviously he won the last race there, but... Yeah.
Both those drivers just mentioned.
To be fair, Keselowski's going to be strong, but... Yeah. I mean, that foot, his leg doesn't seem to be bothering him at Daytona, so...
And they asked him after the race, after the crash, and he said he feels perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. It will be interesting at COTA. COTA might be a little bit more interesting, but we'll have to see.
Well, if you haven't already, check out that predictions episode we mentioned earlier. It's on YouTube and on the podcast platforms. Patreon members, our $5 tier got that predictions episode a little early. I don't know if we're going to do anything relatively soon for Patreon people only, but if we do, you'll get that first. $5 a month and $2 a month to join in the discussion we had throughout the episode. Like and subscribe on YouTube and leave 5 stars on podcast platforms. And follow us on all the socials at Gay Racing Pod. I'm at New Gaden, and Zach is at Zack Racing.
Yep, and we will see you guys next time to talk about NASCAR at Atlanta and starting to gear up for the IndyCar season soon.
Yeah, IndyCar soon too.
Not that far away. All right, we will see you guys next time.
Bye.